Hey guys, so the red light on my Trident is on, and that means that I need to change the reagents. In this case, it's the reagent B. It's at 5%. The reagent A, which is the alkalinity, is at 32%, and changing the reagents is pretty easy, especially if you got a brand new reagent kit, which is hard to come by right now. You just throw it in. But they seem to be wasting a lot of the reagent. It just doesn't draw it all the way down. And that got me thinking, it says don't use the reagent that is left over, and there's probably good reason for that. But I've been saving my leftover reagent, and I've got a full set. And my tank is really stable right now. And I figured, this is as good a time as any to try and see if that old reagent has really gone bad. So this reagent is up to, I got this pretty soon after it came out. So this is probably a year, maybe a little bit older, some of this reagent. So I'm going to take out this reagent, replace it with the old reagent, and see how things work. Alright, so this right here is what they tell you never to do. Alright, C into C. Alright, that's all the reagent changed out for old reagent. Now I'm going to let this do its thing. I'm going to reset it all, and we're going to see if it works, if it just gives errors, or if there's any problems with it. Now I do have, a backup box ready to go if this doesn't work, and hopefully it doesn't break the Trident. Part of the reason I'm doing this is I actually have to break down the tank in a couple weeks. I'm moving out of state, so if I'm going to do this anytime, it's going to be right now. And I don't have much to lose on it, and I didn't really feel like opening up a brand new kit. So I'll get back to you guys as soon as this has run through all its systems. Okay, so it's a couple weeks later. I've actually completely broken down my entire tank preparing for a move. It's completely empty, but I did have the Trident available the entire time to monitor things while coral was getting moved around, so I wasn't overdosing the tank and messing with the coral that was still alive in there. And I was using that year-old reagent the entire time, and we can see how the Trident reacted. So the alkalinity, moving right along at 7.7. It had a weird drop down to 7.545 for a second, but then it was right back up at 7.7. And I changed it right here, so I don't know exactly what that was. It was actually before I changed over the reagent, but the new reagent, or the old reagent rather, popped right up here. The calcium did actually show a difference. So the calcium was up in the 440-ish range before I changed out the reagent. I didn't have reagent through this period right here for the calcium, and the new reagent, which is the old reagent, the year-old reagent, measured down in the 370s. So it did have an effect with the calcium reagent. Now, I didn't do the calibration, so it's quite possible that that could have been brought up to the regular level, but I didn't have a calibration bottle handy. Now, I pretty much only use the alkalinity, so that's not a big deal for me. The calcium stays pretty steady. I'm using a calcium reactor, so it's, kind of tied together. We can also look at the magnesium, and you can see that it does absolutely nothing. So the only one that showed really any effect at all was the calcium. It probably could have been brought back into line with a calibration. I didn't have a calibration bottle handy, so I didn't do that. But yes, you can definitely use your old leftover reagent if you're in a jam. I might follow Neptune's advice and not pour the old reagent into the new reagent, just because you've paid for the new reagent, you might as well use it as new reagent. But if you want to save up all your reagent and use it once a year, I think that's perfectly fine. That's all for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and if you have any comments or suggestions, put them down below.